Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So, a while ago I did the review for the Ascension version of Lucifer, or Lucy, and yeah, I realized that I did not do the review for the Evolution version. And then, because with the recent Legends Hatcher that comes out the first of every month, I thought some people maybe got their first Lucy or their second or whatever. So I thought I would have a look at the Evolution version, which tends to get overshadowed by the Ascension, but still has some positive points about it. So yeah, let's have a look at that. We'll look at her stats first. She is a balance type, and then her HP and speed are decent, which are in line with being a balance type. But her attack is way higher than it should be. She almost has like a power type attack with other stats of a balance type. So she's very strong there, and you could play her like a power type if you wanted to. She is a bounce with a null gravity barrier, a pretty basic skill set, which means she has lots of competition from all of the other elements. Her strike shot is a speed and power up, and then she can also break drones, which can be useful in certain situations, but not nearly as good as the Grand Command strike shot, I would say. And then her bump combo is the plasma, and she was the second character to get plasma when she was released. The first being Kushinada, and then she's also the first character to have plasma with a null gravity barrier, which I think is a better fit than null damage wall, because you can use her to move around on her turn, hit a blast bump combo, and then in null gravity barrier stages get more plasma out, as opposed to Kushinada, who would be stuck in the gravity barriers. And one funny thing is that when Lucifer was first announced, everybody thought the Evolution version was stronger, just because of the plasma. And then the plasma itself, I believe, is a fire element. So it'll do extra damage against green characters, and then less against blue characters. Alrighty, and then to talk about impossible quests she would be good for. She's good for a lot of the first wave of impossibles. So Izunami, Yamato Takeru, Kushinada, and Tsukuyomi. And then I guess you could take her to the Murasame and Muramasa quests. But I more recommend characters with a double null ability for those quests. And then able berries that are good for her. Kin Strength Able Berry would be very good, because that would that bonus would be multiplied when you use her strike shot. And then the Sidekick Able Berry would be really good for her to raise the power of her plasma. And yeah, I think at this point, if you were to give her a Sidekick Able Berry, she would have the most powerful plasma in the game. Another character that has it is Ducky, but that I think is the sub bump combo, so it wouldn't do the full damage. So Lucy with the Sidekick Able Berry could have the the strongest plasma in the game. However, if you were thinking about, like if for example you only had one Lucy, and then you wanted to switch her back and forth between Ascension and Evolution, then the Sidekick would be great, because it would be good for both forms of her. Kin Strength is also pretty good, because that'll also get a multiplier with the Grand Command Strike Shot of the Ascension. But Sidekick would be the most ideal one, I think, for her. And then to go back to talk more about having just one of her, if it were worth, you know, hanging on to Ascension materials of Lucifer, so that you could switch her back and forth at will. I would say if you have the extra time and stamina, then might as well hang on to that. But you don't need to really do that, since the Ascension version is just going to be overall more useful for like 90% of the quests. So if you only had one, I would just leave it on the Ascension form just the whole way. But if you had more than one, then I would say, you know, make an Evolution version, because there will be certain quests where she's pretty great. Okay, so that was my quick rundown of the Evolution version of Lucifer, and we'll go ahead and take her to a quest. And then we will take her to Nokko, which I have recently become interested in making a max look of, because in the future she will get a buff where she picks up a null block. And then gimmicks here are gravity barriers and a little bit of warps. I was wrong. Lucifer's plasma is dark, so yeah, it'll do good damage against everybody. Alright, other characters I am using are Bishamonten, Izanami, and then Sirius. Bishamonten and Izanami cover both of the gimmicks, and then Sirius has the Sprite Slayer for the boss. Okay, so again, we're going to keep in mind that Lucifer has a very high attack, so we're going to use her more for direct attacks than anything else. And then there are scorpions throughout the stage, so Sirius with his bump combo is going to be very useful. And yeah, Plasma is a little bit of a tricky bump combo to use. Takes a little bit of technique and a little bit of positioning to get the most use out of it. And a little bit of team composition as well. The best ones to use with Plasma are other Pierce characters. So I have Bishamonten and Sirius to take care of that. And then I found that the best way to position a Plasma character is if a boss is in a corner, and then to stick Lucifer in that extreme corner, and then you can hit her with either Bounce or Pierce characters and then get a lot of Plasma in there. So on this first mini-boss stage, the best place to place Lucifer would be the upper left-hand corner. And then use other characters to get in there and then get out again to get lots of Plasma. And then Plasma also works pretty well on stages with warps, even though she doesn't have no warp, because the Plasma continues as the character moves around the warps. So she's perfectly usable. She and Kushinada are perfectly usable in no warp quests. We'll see if you can get a little Plasma in here. Alright, pretty good. I will say, though, that as the game goes on further and further, the effectiveness of Plasma is going to go down little by little as time goes on. Just because it's not going to do as much damage compared to newer bump combos that we get later. And then also the fact that as we go on, there's going to be more and more little guys filling the screen, and so it'll be more difficult to get a lot of Plasma out. A lot of the older quests, where it's just, you know, a boss sitting in the center of the screen, it's easy to get a lot of Plasma damage in there. You just kind of you know, bounce around and keep getting waves of Plasma through. But yeah, that'll change from now. Alright, so here, positioning is pretty good for Lucifer. Whoops, and we lost it. And that also would have been good positioning for her Plasma. You know, we can hit her and then try to get our guys to move to the top of the screen in order to get lots of hits there. Alright, but there we see the Plasma working well with the warps, so... Okay, we'll get a little bit of Plasma in here. Alright, pretty good. And yeah, if you're interested in strategies for the Nokko mission, you want to take out the gas masks first if you can, since they summon the scorpions. Unless you have a lot of guys that can take care of scorpions quickly. Another really good character for the stage is Ryubi Ascension. He's got the short spread and then a homing shot, so that's pretty great for the scorpions. And then he also has no gravity barrier and no warp. So he's almost tailor-made for this mission. And then a plasma can be good for scorpions if you get the angles right. It does do a lot of hits. One nice thing about Lucifer Evolution is that she doesn't have a gauge, so she's very easy to use in that sense. And then, because she doesn't have a gauge, she's really great with command strike shots, because she can move through the gravity barriers, even when it's not her turn. And I really like the artwork for Lucifer Evolution as well. It's very dynamic, and then her costume's pretty cool. Ascension is also really great, but... Okay, so that might be the boss stage. There we go. Alright, so on this stage, the best place for Lucifer would be the top right corner. And then that way we could get lots of plasma in her. But we are very interested in taking out the gas mask, so that we don't have to worry about the scorpions. Okay, pretty good damage on the boss there, though. Alright, I guess we're just going to go ahead and try to get rid of the boss, so there goes that. And then the boss has a pretty strong, like a mini spread of poison, which does a lot of damage on the turn that it comes out. So that can really damage you, so that's something to watch out for. Yeah, I should have hit Sirius with that turn so that he could use his slice and dice on the scorpions. Maybe we'll do it this turn, yeah. Okay, pretty good. I'm trying to think who has the fire element plasma. Maybe it was Ducky, but I don't know. Something gave me the idea that she has the fire element plasma. But yeah, seeing a plasma that's a different color than green is kind of that's kind of cool. Okay, on this stage of Noko, we ideally want to be on the left side of the screen, because the scorpions will come out and kind of create a wall with the shields. And then that would make it very difficult to get over to the boss. Thankfully my guys are in pretty good position, so we can just focus on doing damage to the boss here. Alright, pretty good. Yep, there they are. And then we'll just do direct attacks with Lucifer. Pretty good. So yeah, with the elemental advantage, that's almost 50,000 in attack. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah, if you play her like a power type, then she'd be really good at pinching. Either between guys, whoa, or in between the wall and guys. So yeah, quests where you pinch a lot, she can be really good. So like Yamato Takeru in particular, she might be really good there. Alright, we'll just keep plugging away at these guys. Alright, a little more plasma, lots of hits from there, so that's pretty good. And this should do it. Okay. So, last boss stage. And then we're going to go ahead and use Lucifer Strike Shot. It's the speed and power up. Does good damage to drones, but does not do good damage to shields, unfortunately. So we'll just use her Strike Shot as an attack against the boss to do lots of damage. Okay. Decent, million damage. And then, yes, we'll keep using strike shots until we beat the stage. Alright, pretty good. It's hard to compare it to a Slayer L, but yeah, there's that. So yeah, that was Lucifer Evolution. Very strong character, I would say. But there are so many other strong bounce, no gravity barrier characters that it's kind of difficult to remember that she exists. But if you had 2 or more Lucifer, then I would say make a version of each. And if you only had 1, maybe just stick to the Ascension version. Alrighty, I think that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Take care.